Right, good morning. It is Sunday. Thought I'd do a video on what's springing up, what's getting into full growth, and also the danger of this cold period next week where possible frosts. So I've managed to clear the summer house. That's open and ready to use again as a summer house. We've got all the palms and plants in pots in this area of the garden because it gets sort of morning sun and it's sort of shaded in the afternoon, just to get them used to the light levels. Yeah, excuse the paddling pool. It's still wet. I'm trying to dry that off before I put that away from when I done the pond the other week. Anyway, so we've got a lot of new growth. Don't know if I can get to it. So down here we can see where I transplanted the little Fatsia spider web. The new leaves are totally white at the moment, but they will green up in time. The big leaf rhododendron seems to be doing okay, keeping that well watered. We've had plenty of rain, so that's helping. That seems to be doing okay. Hopefully we'll get some flowers on it this year. We'll see. Obviously it has been gone through the post and been disturbed a bit, so they should flower around this time, but it might be delayed a bit. The comfrey is going mad as usual, so I'm going to have to cut that back and make some comfrey tea out of that. I'm sure we all know how to do that. Yeah, so all the Fatsias, we've got a nice variegated Fatsia there, that's pushing out loads of new growth. I don't know if we can see, you've got some hostas starting to come up. This area is looking fairly colourful at the moment. So again, with the hellebores, the flowers are really sort of, I don't know, still pushing out a few flowers here and there. The viburnum is now open some nice little flowers on there. Not too worried about the flowers, it's the steely blue berries towards the end of the season which look quite nice. So I don't know if these are bluebells or what, they come up every year this time and look nice, and obviously they die back and we get the proper tropicals in after that. So yeah, in general things are doing okay. I mean, a lot of wallflowers that seem to self-seed and do their thing every year, which is not a bad thing. It's quite a nice sort of a, I don't know, royal red I'd call that. Quite nice. Yeah, all the petasites or pedicites, palmatum are starting to obviously come up with the flower spikes first, so that's the flower spikes on them, and then we get the big leaves after. I had to trim the grass because that was getting quite long, and before I do the first cut this season, that's ridiculously long and clumpy in some areas, so I trimmed that yesterday, so hopefully I can get a proper cut on that at some point this week if it's not raining every day. Yeah, so again we've got a lot of the hostas starting to push through. I think that one is T-Rex. So we've got the wine and roses rhododendron that has started to open up. So that's quite nice. Really, say, with the contrast of the back of the leaves and the flowers, it's a nice combination. We've got a lot of again self-seed and forget-me-nots, which, you know, I leave, they soon die back when the summer comes. It's nice this time of year to see a bit of colour in the garden. Again, we've got a lot of the hostas coming up. We've got the big Summon Substance coming up here, which I'm going to have to, well, I want to move that to the new shady corner I'm going to be finishing planting over the next week or so. But yeah, so that will be moved. I'm thinking about getting a shadier lichen palm there, something pinnate, not quite sure yet. Anyway, so we've got the spotty dotty, so that's doing quite well. So again, all this tender new growth, if we do get a frost next week, I mean, we do a couple of nights to get down to about 3 degrees, but that can change, that could get colder. So I may well, if this gets a frost now, this spotty dotty, that'll kill all that new growth off. So I will err on the side of caution and probably put a cloche over that. We've got the Bronera starting to come up, so we've got nice blue flowers on that. Big silvery leaves on these heart-shaped leaves when they get into full growth. Yeah, so still early, so we're just looking at enjoying the blue coloration on that. Right, so let's move over to the centre bed. So we've got obviously the palms in the middle here, but at the back we've got dahlias and some cannas, which are starting to show now. So this is a Cleopatra canna. As we can see, we've got a full red leaf on that one. We've already got a little stripy leaf there. Dahlia is starting to show a little bit of green, and we've got some more canna spikes coming up. The corpse lily, well, as we can see, there's 3 there. They're starting to get a little bit of height on it. It's probably now pushing 2 foot, so I don't think that would appreciate a frost, so might have to put a bit of frost cloth over that. So yeah, coming over here again, the cannas got a couple of inches of new growth coming out. So coming over here again, I'm noticing that some of the cannas are starting to push some life out of. We've got Lucifolia there, which is only just starting to get a few tips pushing the surface. We've got a big what's this canna? I think it's a Indica or Bird of Paradise canna, but it's a sort of a red form one, I believe. Yeah, and we're starting to get a couple of inches of growth on that. We are getting a lot of the old Solomon seals popping up. They seem to pop up everywhere in the garden. I quite like them. We'll leave them. Yeah, so in general, just a video on all this new growth coming. And like I say, we are expecting some cold temperatures next week. It's not particularly warm during the day either. It's getting down to, like I say, for where I am specifically, we're looking at a couple of nights of 3 degrees, but I won't rule out a slight frost, and it's only going to get about 10 degrees during the day, so it's going to be a cool 3 or 4 days. So that's a little bit concerning when things are starting to get into full growth. Got a wood fern there, which is putting on all this new growth. Quite interesting the way the crosies come out on that one. Just noticed we've got a Tetrapanax popping up here from the main plant, which is way over there. And I thought this was interesting because my other big Musa Bajou, I lost a couple of foot of height on it, and I cut it back to live tissue, but this one was the same sort of size, and this has died right back to the ground. But as we can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pups at the moment. I wouldn't rule out there's a few more coming up as well. So that is, we know they're hardy. We know if you lose all the growth they're gonna pop up everywhere, so that's what's going on there. This little T-Rex pup here is the one that had the variegated leaf last year, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that one. I'm not going to dig it up or disturb it, we'll just leave it and see what happens. Be nice to see if we get another variegated leaf on that, or we'll see. I wouldn't hold my breath, it's not going to be can be a bit sporadic, that sort of thing. So this is the main T-Rex. I haven't really done anything with it other than just left it to its own device. I cut all the dead leaves off, obviously. Yeah, seal at the top of that. Top of that is rotted off. I haven't even bothered looking at this, but I can see that that's not looking good, so I might just take that down an inch or two. It seems to be solid down to here, so we'll cut that and we'll no doubt get some new growth from the side. And even if we don't, which I'm sure we will, that's no big deal. I've got loads of pops come up everywhere, so we'll just let some of them take over. Right, so after the very disappointing winter and slow start to the spring, things are starting to grow now. I did, in case you missed it in one of the other videos, of the palm grass I cut back. It was had a frost cloth over winter. I pulled the cloth off and that was just looked all brown and dead, so I removed all the dead foliage, and there's loads of green spikes, so that survived the winter. I've just put a cloche on it just to get some extra heat units in there to get it growing a bit quicker. And then when this cold patch is gone, I may well just take that off and let that do its thing. Right, so it's nice to see things start to come back into life. Even got a poppy on its way. Looks like it's getting ready to flower. So again, I do let the poppy self-seed, and that's a bit of early interest for me in the garden, bit of colour, and then yeah, as soon as they're done flowering I pull them all out, and that's normally a good time to get all the true tropicals in, if you like. Some of the elephant ears and sort of less cool tolerant bananas, whatever. Right, so I think we'll leave it there for that one. The old slugs and snails have been at the Persicaria, but they're starting to put on some growth now. We've got quite a few clumps about, so it won't be long before I start cutting that back to get that a bit bushier, because they can look a bit messy and untidy if you just have a long straggly. I'd rather have more compact and more bushier. Anyway, so let's leave it there. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.